You good? Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Hey everybody. Hey Lori. Excuse me, guys. I've been crying all week, so I don't got makeup and I don't. You know what? I don't give a crap today. I don't give a crap. Hey everybody. Hey Lori. Hey Danny. Hey Gremlin Granny. Hey. Thank you, Spot Savvy. Hey RJ Jr. How you doing? I'm just gonna wait for a little bit more people to come on here and thank you so much, guys. Hey Devon. Hey Norma. Hey Rocking Rockos. How you doing? This is my son. This is Joey. Um, James and him, guys, were like best friends. They, hey Slots with Sarah. Hey Carrie. They were like best friends, guys, and I mean, que Dios esté con vosotros. Thank you, Yuraka. Hey Ethel. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you. I really want to say, guys, I really appreciate you guys being here for me and my family. It's been a hell of a week, let me just say. And I'm gonna go back, guys, from last Thursday when we last talked to you at the hospital. Kilria, thank you. Thank you, Satsila. Thank you. So, I mean, guys, we thought everything was tracking. We thought everything was good. We thought, hey, GC Slots, we thought that we had some hope here. We had a chance because, I mean, everything was looking that way. He had gotten a blood transfusion on Friday, and that was the first one. And so, you know, his body took it, no problems, right? And so Saturday morning, they came back in and they're like, well, you know, everything went good. His hemoglobin's gone up, so he's doing good. I mean, he talked to his sons were there. Michael, his second oldest, was there that week. Got to see his dad. Was there Wednesday, Thursday, left Friday morning. I'm sorry. Matthew was there as well as Wednesday, and got to see their dad. So I am so grateful for that. Yes, Grandma and Granny, straight up forever. Hey, One Mighty R. And you know what? Please feel to interject anytime, okay? Hey, Mighty R, thank you for that $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. Hey, Olga, thank you. I need your prayers. Guys, it is your prayers that are sustaining me and that are keeping me. The joy he had in Green Bay. Oh, yeah, guys, I got to share with you the celebration because it's going to be, and we are going to do it live. So I will not go live Thursday, but I will go live Saturday at his celebration of life, okay? And so anyway, so Saturday, you know, I got, you know, his two kids left, Michael and Matthew. So now it's just back to Joey and I being there for him. And so Sunday, the doctor came in, Dr. Patel came in that morning, and she said that his blood had gone down again. And so they were going to do another transfusion. Hey, James Landers. Yes, Eduardo, por favor. Las oraciones son muy poderosas. They are very powerful. And they do send out so much energy, and
he's here.
He is definitely here, guys, and he appreciates each and every one of you guys. So anyway, she came in and she said, you know, his blood did not take, I mean, it didn't last, in other words, because his hemoglobin had gone down again. So she says, we're going to do another set of blood, platelets, and then blood. So we're like, okay, you know. And I said, you know what? Just tell me. I'm the kind of person like, just tell me the bad news, and then you can tell me the good news. You know, tell me what I'm up against. You know. Hey, Sloth Stabby, thank you for that $19.99 super chat. So Joe, you just kind of shout them out when we're talking to them, okay? And so, you know, I'm like, you know, just tell me what am I up against? So that way I know what to pray for, what we're fighting for, right? So she basically said, you know, she's like, we can keep doing this, as long as you want, but if his blood is not taking it, that means that it's in the blood, guys. I mean, the cancer was already in the blood and in his bone marrow. She goes in, she goes, this is what her words. She says, we are just prolonging what's inevitable, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, okay. So, but you know what? I am optimistic about anything and everything. I'm like, you know what? God's in control. He can change it, turn it around, and we're just gonna believe for the best, right? So, I talked to several people. I talked to Jane. I think I talked to Pamela. I mean, we were all like, just keep praying, just keep, things positive. Miranda was, and that morning, actually, he's like, babe, can you exercise my legs,
Yero, what's up, man? How are you?
Wait. Oh, hey, wait.
My bad.
So he's, just massage my legs, So I massage his legs, and he says, Mija, Mija, because he would always say Mija. And, I massaged his legs. I mean, he was in good spirits that morning, And so I did that, and took a shower, got dressed. The doctor was there that morning, like I just told you what she said. I started calling, like I said, I talked to Jane and some other people, and then that last one really was Miranda, and it was probably like around 1 or 2 in the afternoon. We FaceTimed her, and that way she could see her dad, because, she was trying to get there, and she was having a hard time, financially, right? So we were all trying to figure out a plan for her to get there, and, so she's talking to her dad, and hey Papa, and he's kind of like, he's kind of in and out, because he just kept saying that morning that he was really tired. So I said, you know what? Well, I talked to these people. I'm gonna let you rest. So he rested. He was resting because he didn't have much sleep that night before. So he was resting and stuff, and then like I said, we ended up talking to Miranda, and he was kind of sluggish and stuff, and so I said, okay, baby, well, I'm gonna finish talking to Miranda, get some rest, and I'll be right back. So I finished talking to Miranda, and while I was talking to her still, one of the nurse's assistants came in, and she says, you need to come back here now. And I'm like, okay. So I come back to the room, and he's lethargic, right? And I'm just like, I'm looking at him, and he just doesn't look like himself, right? And I'm like, babe, what's wrong? And I'm going like this, babe, honey. And I'm trying to talk to him, and he's just like, he's just like he's just not there, and I just, like that awful, overwhelming feeling comes over you, like, oh crap, and then I could see the nurse's eyes. She's panicking, she's freaking out. Her eyes are bigger than quarters, and so she's calling everybody. She called Code Blue to come in, and I'm just like, what is going on? Where the hell did this come from, right? And so she's calling all these people to come in. She called the nurse that intubates them, or whatever, the PA, whatever, intubates them. He comes in, he's checking his eyes, and then he's like, yeah, he says, we're gonna have to intubate him. And I'm like, do you have to do that? Why? And he's like, because she's like, he's not. He goes, because he can aspirate, right? I'm like, okay, well, I know what that means, So, he was like, yeah, because there was, his lungs were not open, so. I'm like, okay, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, what is really happening here? So he gets, the suction, because he's like, yeah, because his mouth is like kind of tight, and he had to go in there to kind of suction him. And you know how when they stick something in your mouth, you have a gag reflex. Everybody does. Well, guys, he didn't even have that anymore. I mean, he suctioned him, and there was blood in the tubing. And I knew we were in trouble. I knew that we were in serious trouble. And I'm like, he's like, oh gosh, he's got a brain bleed. And I'm just like, oh, no. So he intubates him. And
Amen, Danny D. He's no longer in pain.
And he got intubated, and then of course they're taking him to ICU. They're putting all these machines on and all this stuff. And guys, I've experienced death, one too many times. I've been around this barn too many times to know, you always look at the person's nails, and if they're purple, that's their body shutting down, And his toes were like that, his fingers were like that, and I'm just like, oh my God, this can't be happening. It wasn't supposed to be like this. He wasn't supposed to go yet. We had too many things to do. I feel like I got cheated. And it was not fair. And but guys, I really believe that at that moment he was gone, because after they intubated him, it was the machines that were keeping him alive. It wasn't because he was there, because he wasn't there. There was no, the body was already cold. There was no reaction. There was nothing. His the heartbeat was there, but it was at like so low. So they're like, well, we're gonna do a CT scan. Joey and Sarah were there with me, and they stayed with me until they were gonna get ready to do it. It was maybe around 10:30, right? 10:30, 11, they were gonna do it. But when Joey got there, he had brought the kids, right? So just to kind of, have a minute, I went downstairs to see the kids and stuff. And then my granddaughter says to me, the first thing that comes out of her mouth, she's 6 years old, guys, but she's very intuitive, very intuitive. She says, so, Grandpa's gonna die. And I'm like, she's like, but he's gonna be with Jesus, so. And then she's like, but no, so, I don't want him to go, And then she's like, because that means I'm only gonna have one grandpa, right? And guys, she was right. He was already there. Kristen Luth, oh my gosh, thank you guys for that 99 super chat. I don't even know what to say, guys. I would not know what to do without y'all's support. I thank you. I thank you from the depths of my soul, from every fiber of my being. I thank you guys, because you know how much Str8up loved you guys. And he just loved the
You look forward to every Thursday.
Every Thursday. Every Thursday. And he hated being in the hospital and just in so much pain, guys. He was in just so much pain. It was unbelievable. So anyway, guys, I go back upstairs. Sarah and Joy are, they're like, well, you guys can't stay because if he was in ICU.
Yeah.
So they left, and they're like, Mom, are you going to be okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'll be okay. Let me just have my time with James, right? And so they're like, okay, Mom. So they left, and
about an hour and a half, 2 hours later.
Yeah. Well, the doctor comes in, the oncologist, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I have to tell you this, but he says the CTC scan came back, and he had a massive brain bleed. He says it was so massive that it pushed his brain to the side, and his blood was very thin. And she's like, there's nothing we can do. And I said, his sister's coming, and my son is coming. And she said, well, we can keep him on the machine until they get here. And she says, and I said, well, what if I take him off the machines? Can you? And she says, well, she says you can do it, resuscitate him, but let me just tell you, it's going to damage his body. It's going to damage it more. So even if he did, but basically what you're telling me is that he's gone. He says, well, let me just say that he did not feel anything. He says when he had that brain bleed, he didn't feel anything, right? Hey, Thought Sister, thank you. I love you guys too. Guys, which I'm grateful for, but it doesn't make things easier. It just doesn't. And I knew he was gone. I knew that he was, and I said, so about an hour later, I'm going back and forth in my mind. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And, I ended up calling his sister, his baby sister, he was very close to, pretty close to. And she said, Sonia, just let him go. Just let him go. Don't worry about, my sister said, don't worry about waiting for her. If you feel the need to let him go, just let him go. And let me tell you guys, when I did that, I was talking to the I guess he's a nurse. He was an RN, and he's the one that takes out all the tubing and stuff like that. And so of course, I asked him. I said, "What happened?" He's like, "Well, I go because his heart rate, guys, was at 55." So that just tells you where he was at. The body was just like lingering, literally, you know. And he says, you know, it'll start going down, and then it'll just flatline. And I said, okay. So they took him off the machines and everything, and you know what, guys? There was no movement. There was no sign. There was no sign of life whatsoever, you know. And I kind of waited for that countdown, right? You know, 55, and then it went to 50, and then it went to 45, and then 40, and then 30, and all the way down to.
Since you 20.
Thank you, Melvin, so much. Thank you. And then that was it. And I just stayed there and I cried, and I was glad that he wasn't in pain anymore. You know, that he wasn't in pain anymore. That because that last month, guys, and you guys know this because you guys saw it, he was just struggling so much.
In pain.
I mean,
so much pain.
So much. I mean, my son saw it. I mean, he had to carry him to the car. He had to carry him to the bathroom. I mean, you know, talk about, you know, his manhood being taken away. I mean, everything was taken away. There was no more, he had no more dignity. I mean, all of that went out the window, you know. I mean, even at the hospital, guys, you know, I mean, when you're sick like that, everything just goes out the window. And you just feel so vulnerable, like, I can't do nothing for myself anymore, you know. And I had really thought there was hope because on Saturday, you know, he had therapists come in and they had put you guys saw that picture, they had put a back brace on him, so he stood up and he was so happy, and I'm just like, okay, we're making some progress, you know. So, I mean, I was hopeful. I didn't think this was gonna happen. It was like the furthest thing from my mind. I mean, and I know it was for him too, because, you know, he kept saying, you know, I mean, I would cry on his shoulders and I would say, babe, you know, I'm not a selfish woman. So I was like, if you need to go home, go home. But I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go. I want you to stay with me. I don't want you to go. Please just stay with me. I don't want you to go. But I know that if you have to go, go. And you know, he was like, babe, I'm trying. I'm really trying. And, but I know that he was, you know, trying for me. You know, he was trying to stay in the fight, you know. And, but I don't know, you know, the honest truth, guys, is I don't know how he was feeling. I don't. I don't know in his mind and his, you know, I mean, and Str8up was, you guys know this. He was a very, man, I cry, you see it, you know, you see it. Hey, Tia Sauce, thank you so much for that $50. Thank you. I mean, Str8up was an introvert. He did not share his feelings, I mean, at all. Me, man, I'm chillando. I'm like, thank you, Juicy Jungle. Thank you so much. I mean, my emotions are on the sleeve, man. You see it, you're gonna see. I mean, you're gonna see me. This is who I am. But you know, when we started this channel, we always told you guys that we would be real. This is the journey that I am now starting on without my love, without the love of my life. And I am going to continue this, and I know that God is going to give me the strength to do this, because I know there's going to be somebody out there that is going to lose a spouse, a brother, a sister, and I want to be there for them, just like you guys are here for me. And to encourage them and say, you know, life goes on, and as hard as it's going to be, and it's going to be challenging, and I have my days and I have my minutes, and I don't sleep. I haven't been sleeping the greatest, you know, because my mind cannot wrap, you know, around that he's gone, that he's not here. I'm just waiting for him to call me, because you guys know that every time that we had another duty station, that he would call me and say, okay, because he knew that I wanted to see my grandbabies and my son, so he would just say, okay, baby, you know, it's time to come, you know, I mean, everything's ready, come on. And I would get in the car and go wherever he was at, you know. So I'm just waiting for that call. I'm waiting for him to call me and say, okay, babe, come on. And I'm not getting that call. You know, I'm not getting that call.
Thank you, Danny D.
So it's just like, you know, guys, I thank you. I thank you for your prayers. I thank you for being here for me and my family. Because when I say, guys, that we are feeling it, we are feeling all of the love. We feel it, and we thank you. We would not be here if it wasn't for all of you guys. Words cannot even begin to express the gratitude and the thankfulness. I thank you guys so much. And guys, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going.
And I thank you too, because you know, to get her mind off things and to keep it going and to keep it, you know, I can only do so much as her son. Yes, I keep her laughing and going and like today, you know, I'm a personal trainer, so when I was going to the gym, I said, "Hey, Mom, I love you, but if I don't come back,"
that's it. I said, stop that shit." Excuse the language, guys. Stop that shit. You know.
But my dad was very, you know, he was such an incredible man, and you know, we're gonna keep carrying that. We're gonna keep Straight Up Slots alive. You know, we're not gonna quit. We're not gonna stop. The road doesn't end here, and he's gonna be there, right? He's gonna be there making Miss Bling thing.
The fabulous Miss Bling thing.
Get her,
right?
yeah, get her, and if those things that I gotta say, and those things that I have to do to put a smile on Mom's face, and that's what I'm gonna do, right? And I'm going to continue his legacy, and continue the best that I can. And if that means have no clients on Friday because we have to go to the casino on Thursday night, then so be it, right? That's what we gotta do. So. The road doesn't end here, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna continue his legacy, and continue Straight Up Slots, and you know, do it, you know,
in his honor.
In his honor, because that's what he would want. He would never want me. He would never want us to say, you know what, we're done.
It's over.
It's over.
It's not over.
No, it's not. It was
far
from over, and you know, we still got to get his, and I'm gonna play with his card. Right, and I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do everything that I can in my power to keep his legacy going and to keep him going.
Thank you, DS Slots, for being a member for 13 months. We appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna need your help, guys. I'll be honest with you. I didn't. Straight Up did everything. He edited. He posted. So I'm gonna need help because I don't know diddly squat.
Well, my wife is here to help with that in that aspect too. So Mom won't have, and I know the ins and outs of it a little bit also myself, but we were definitely going to help Mom and Straight Up continue his legacy, like I said.
Hey, Linda Paul, he is my son, so he's James's son. Your wonderful son. Oh yes, son. God. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So long story short, I met James when I was 14 years old. My dad and my mom split, divorced, and you know, I literally held my mom in my arms, and she cried, and you know, she loved my biological father to death, and she didn't know what to do. She was devastated. You know, he broke her heart, and James, here comes James.
Mm-hmm.
He came along and swept her right off her feet, and you know, obviously the rest was history. So, and he's treated me like a son, and I've treated him like a father. So, you know, unfortunately, his kids never had or never will have the relationship that I have with James and or with Straight Up, and you know, it was beautiful.
That's right, Spin and Win. We're right. We're gonna hit those hand pays. Absolutely.
It's been hard. It's been tough. Especially because he was a Green Bay fan and I'm a Cowboy fan. And it was, but I'm gonna continue that. If that means I have to wear green, then so be it. You know, because that's what he would want, right?
Thank you, Bomita Treasures. Thank you.
And you know, we're not, like I said, we're not gonna stop.
Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. We're not gonna stop
because yes, we're grieving, and yes, this is hard. This is extremely hard. But
thank you. Love you too, Red Screen Tiger.
Straight Up would not Straight Up will not want us to stop, and we're not gonna stop. So
Sarah C, thank you for that 1999 super chat. I wish I could hug you. The phone is playing. My prayers continue for you guys. Thank you, thank you. I'm hugging all of you guys.
and it's been tough. It's been extremely
Yeah,
tough.
it's just it's just like I say, guys. I just can't wrap my mind that he's not here. He's my best friend.
And I can't either. It hit when the guys at the funeral said he was being cremated yesterday. It hit really hard. But we're gonna stay strong.
Yes, Devon, I have an amazing son, and James adored him. I mean, James thought the world of him. You know, he is a good. And my oldest was here too, and he was.
He's
oh
in the
my
Navy.
gosh, he's in the Navy, and he was. They were both amazing. Johnny the third, he was amazing. I mean, I wish he could have been on this live because. I mean, he was. They both were. They kept me laughing. They kept me. You know, they're like, you're not gonna fall, Mom. You're just not. You know, and so we're gonna make sure of that. And they even told that to James. They said, Pops, you know, hey Billy effing Slots, thank you. I was crushed when you told me you needed a miracle. That's me sending my prayer. Thank you, Billy. Thank you. You know, and Billy, I really admire the way you take care of your mom. That's where the blessings are, you know, and that's where my son is blessed because when I say he looks out for me, he looks out for me. And you know what, Billy? God is going to do the same for you. I believe it. I believe it wholeheartedly. I love the way you take care of your mom. I watch your videos and I see you taking care of your mom, and the Yoshis do the same thing.
I'm just a mama's boy. I ain't gonna lie. Straight up. Straight up. Slots.
And
I love my mama.
and I just love watching that. I mean, man, you know, if you ever meet the Yoshis and you meet Mama Yoshi, oh my gosh, she is an amazing soul. Amazing soul. Thank you, Barbara C. Thank you so much. I was so blessed to have met you. We were too, Barbara. We were too. You know, God orchestrates things, and we don't, you know, guys, we don't understand, you know, because you know what? Straight Up had a plan. Let me tell you this, guys. He had a plan. You know, he was going to retire. We were going to go on this long road trip. I mean, he wanted it longer, to be honest with you guys. But you know, for whatever reason, God kind of cut it short for us with the weather. Because we were going to go up to Washington State to go see Savvy. We were going to go see D Cross. And the weather shut us down, like for real. But we were going to go, I mean, he wanted to see his redwoods. He's like, man, baby, that's like my bucket list. I want to go see the, I mean, he had a bucket list, guys. And you don't have a bucket list. Okay, just don't have a freaking bucket list. Because, you know, there is a movie called The Bucket List, right? Because the guy's dying. And you know what? It didn't even dawn on me until now that I'm thinking about it. So, you know, he had a freaking bucket list, and I'm just like, you know, he wanted to go see those damn redwoods, you know, and of course he did. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, God, he's got all these things. I'm like, Lord, you know, you're not gonna do something, are you? You know, I mean, you're not setting me up for something, because God always does that to me. You know, He always sends these subliminal signs, you know, like bread pieces, you know, and I'm picking up on them. Straight Up is just like, hey, I'm just glad to see the redwoods, you know. So then we go on this cruise, and he did that for me, you know, because I wanted to go to Cabo San Lucas, and then of course he wanted to go to Vegas, and we got to see Trista, Vegas Shaken and Stirred. Got to go to the Cosmopolitan. I mean, we didn't do a lot in Vegas, but that we wanted to, because you know we wanted to get back home to see the kids and stuff, and he wanted to go see his dad, and like I said, guys, he had so many plans. And then, I mean, guys, when we got to Choctaw, I mean, that really is where it all started, because his leg was hurting. My son had to, his daughter had, my granddaughter had a show at Grey Wolf Lodge. They were staying there, and we were supposed to go stay with them. And Straight Up was like, babe, just go drop them off and come back. That was a 3-hour trip. Well, he told me that it took him, and you guys, an hour. If you guys know Choctaw, it's huge. He says from one side of the casino to where I was going to pick him up, it took him an hour to get there. So, and I'm just like, well, that was. And so he honestly, he thought he was his one of his discs. And you know, I mean, everything just escalated from there, guys. It got worse, and it got worse, and now he's gone. So you know, guys, I would tell you, as we're gonna end this. I would tell you, hug your loved ones tonight. Hug them like there's no tomorrow. Be quick to forgive, because guys, you might not have tomorrow. Um, you know, I embraced every moment that I had with Str8up, even at his bedside. I embraced every moment, and you know, Str8up and I never let the sun go down, being angry or anything like that. I mean, we were so quick, like even in this frustration where he was having pain, and you know, Str8up doesn't cry. And there was a moment where he was hurting so bad, he was crying, right? And we were both crying because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to help him. I was losing my mind trying to figure a way to help him, right? And so we both were crying, and then we started praying, and you know, that's what we would do. We would get mad at each other or whatever, and then we'd be like, we're not gonna let the enemy come in and come between us. That's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna fly. And I would open doors, let all the evil spirits out, you know. But and then we would, you know, start new again. So guys, tonight, as you're thinking of us, as you're praying for us, please love one another, and please be quick to forgive. Because like I said, guys, tomorrow is not promised to any of us. And I would hate to lose any of you guys, and you guys didn't finish, you know, things that you should have finished, or didn't forgive, or didn't, you know, or you haven't talked to your mom for a long time because you're mad because she said this, or your brother, or your sister, or a friend. It doesn't matter, you know. So please do that. Hug your loved ones tonight a little closer, and give them all the love that you can. We love you guys. And like I said, we won't go live next Thursday, but we will be live Saturday for his celebration of life. So please join us, and I will do it live through Facebook. I mean through
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay,
Yep.
guys. I
I'm
love you.
excited to meet each and every one of you guys, and you know what my dad. You know, like I said, continue my dad's
Thank you,
legacy.
Sarah.
Continue
Love you
his,
too.
continue his legacy, and continue, you know, what he did and what he wanted to do, and get those handpays, right? I have yet to have one, so it's gonna be different going without him, but
His legacy will
he
be
will
on,
be. I know he will be there.
and his spirit will be with us.
I know he'll be there with us.
All right, guys. Well, we love you. Good night. And if it ain't paying, we ain't staying. Cha-ching. Love you guys.